need to go more sophisticated in everything. And try not to, it will be impossible to make it 100% finished product only. Because some very highly organized packing companies are there elsewhere, out in the west, out in the east, everywhere you get. But in time to come, costs will go up so much that this packaging overseas may reduce. Some more. It reduced to a great degree now. Then what we will need to do is to do all our products in finished goods. 100%, as I said, is impossible because some teas get blended out with other origin teas to make a finished product. But we try hard to do it as a finished product from here. Because no tea is sold in loose form now in the West. I mean, you don't weigh it and sell it, except in very specialty shops. You can do a little bit of weighing and selling, but volumes are down. But you can pack it and sell. So when you have very sophisticated packing methods now, we have all the equipment, we have all the machinery. Why not do it here? And all of us must concentrate on doing a finished product. Maybe your own brand, but sometimes they will have to now. Department stores and supermarkets are becoming so big, they insist on their own brand. Then you will have to give it. So some of us will do that, others will do their own brand. And we have to go higher and higher in the market. Tea should be sold as a real high quality product. We should forget about the days that tea was sold as an average product for you to quench your thirst or drink in the morning and drink in the afternoon. No, we should sell it as a product where people look for it and enjoy tasting it. Now, to a degree, coffee has gone that way. They have very exclusive specialty coffees. Like that, we have specialty teas, but it's the older generation that knows it. So we need to educate the younger generation to know the specialty teas and give them this kind of very special tea so they come looking for it. So we need to make our marketing methods a little bit so sophisticated, our serving methods a little bit sophisticated, and today of course you have RTDs which are also popular. But making too many RTDs, sometimes you can't keep the quality to taste that much better than normal. So you have to have both. For the younger generation who's busy, you need the RTDs, ready to drink bottles. For the others, the tea bagging. But sometimes surprisingly, younger generation, some couples want to brew their tea the traditional way and drink it, but very good quality tea. Nobody wants a bad quality tea. And try and make it a habit to drink tea regularly at morning, afternoon, evening, at night time. You have to really educate them and do it. We have in some markets, in Europe, we have been successful in Italy, where we sell a nice finished tea bag, and tea drinking has become more popularized. So we are really thinking of doing nice tea shop there to serve the tea. In Greece, again, that's a total traditional coffee market. No? We have managed to do that and open 2 tea shops serving. And then tea marinated products, food. You would do fish, meat, various other edible things with tea being used as a marinator. And also flavored teas. To smoke fish, you can use the smoke generated out of infused tea and things like that to make it more popular. Then by doing that for the food, you encourage them to drink more tea also. So there are ways of doing it, but we should be really hands-on and dedicated to do that. So we must create a dedicated generation of tea sellers, tea tasters, and people involved in the tea trade to continue this trade. My view is that since our earth is also not new, replanting has to be done, but we need to produce a better quality tea in lesser volume and increase the demand for that by doing that. Much better quality tea like we had in the past, and reduce this. When I joined the tea trade, we were not producing 200 million kilos even, right? and it was much less. Today we are 300 million, touching 300 million, but that extra 100, 150 million is not very good tea. That's the problem. In this 300 million kilos of tea that we have, if I can find 20 to 30 million kilos of real super tea, I'll be surprised. That's wrong. We should have at least 150 million kilos of real good tea. Others can be a little bit mediocre. But we shouldn't have any crappy low-end teas. This allowing of refuse tea to be processed and all that, I am not in favor of. But the country is doing it, government is also allowing it now. Refuse tea is refuse tea. In the old days it tempted fertilizer, we never used it for drinking. So why do it? If you can extract from that, like Unilever is doing, some instant tea companies are doing, that's okay. Because you are doing an extract, and after extracting, that refuse can go into the earth. But what went old days, all the BMs, BP fannings, all that stuff that went into the earth as fertilizer, is being, because of high costs, is being processed now. And that is what is bringing in a lot of muck into the market. That shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, it's happening, and we are all responsible for it. For allowing tea bags has given birth to another thing where you can, some people say, oh, you never see the tea, so as long as it brews, okay. But when you take the lower quality tea, the keeping qualities are lower. It can never keep a good 3 years in the pack. In about 6 months, it starts to take a big dip, and in 1 year, it's right at the bottom. Then when somebody drinks it, they think all Ceylon tea is like that. That's the problem. They don't say this particular Ceylon tea is bad. Oh, Ceylon tea, I tasted one, it's crap. That should never happen. So we are responsible for killing our industry if we do it this way. So the next 175, I mean, to reach the 175th year, we need to adjust at least now and say give 25 years of superior tea. Now we saw 25 years of bad quality tea during the nationalized era. It didn't go down immediately, it went down slowly. That's what is wrong. And I can remember JDB had a total off-rate mucky tea sold in the local market as Janate. That was a crappy tea. Today we were having a meeting with the chairman tea board. He was asking how to make Sri Lankans drink a better quality cup of tea. Of course, economies, the salary levels and all that make them drink a poor quality. But housewives goes to the market and she'll look like that and say, this is cheaper today, let me buy this. But that is because she can afford only X amount of money for the tea. But if they drink, we have in the shop some housewives who come, who are, when you look at them, you know that they are not very rich people, but they come for a very good tea and they say they can't do without it. That means they have got used to a certain standard and they want to maintain that standard in their cup of tea. What goes into your body, So let's put something good into our body, not put something that is mediocre and say, oh, this is good enough for us. So if we can inculcate that in the people, we will make, first Sri Lankans drink a good cup of tea. We are drinking, most of us drink a bad tea flavored with sugar and condensed milk. Another sweetener in it. Condensed milk is sweet. If you put condensed milk and sweet sugar, then the taste is all very bad. And if you take, most of us still drink tea with sugar. Tea should never be drunk with sugar. Now if you take Europe, lots of people don't drink coffee with sugar. They just drink coffee. We should do that with tea. If you are drinking with milk, it's okay. But use a good tea, put a dash of milk, don't put sugar. Once you get used to that, you always wanting that high sweet sugar. Now, you take a cup of tea with sugar and drink it. After 1 hour, what lingers on in your mouth? Taste of sugar, not the taste of tea. Whereas if you don't put sugar, you will have the taste in your mouth for a lesser period of time, but it will be the good taste of tea. But most of us load it with sugar, and then of course end up getting diabetes also. Because some of us, I have staff here who I have seen putting 3-4 spoons of sugar. Now after 25 years and 30 years, they are diabetic. That's probably not the only cause, because once you do that, everything you eat, you want to eat very sweet. That's the other problem. That shouldn't happen. Tea should never be given. My grandchildren don't drink tea with sugar. From small days, they were never given sugar in the tea. They drink it just like that. If we were used to that from the beginning, we wouldn't want sugar. Because once you have sugar only, you want to have sugar. If you don't give them anything very sweet, you will never want it so sweet. Unfortunately, we have got our energy from sugar. That's another problem. You know?